the long, awkward pause in the beginning. Uh, it's a very powerful method of being a spiritual master that I learned from all of the other spiritual masters. But it's not what I learned from God. Uh, now, now, for the sake of argument, I could be crazy, but in case I'm not crazy, the I really want to talk about the most interesting thing that's happened to me in my life. Now, God talked to me. We already got the I might be crazy part out of the way, right? So, okay. But if I'm not, God talked to me. All right. And how do I know? How do I know it was God? Well, I tested it for 6 months. Uh, and also, it was obviously unconditional love. It was like when I heard that God is love, I, from the Bible or whatever. uh, is there any other places that say that? Whatever. I've heard it several times before though, and it didn't make sense to me. Like, well, you know, is love, but what is like? But how do you like communicate with that? How and how could I don't know? Just didn't make sense. But when it communicated with me, it did make sense. The thing was definitely love, but just because I knew that this thing was unconditional love didn't that wasn't the end of my testing. That was only the beginning of my testing of it because you know, I had to rule out that it wasn't like a demon pretending to be a positive being, right? And so that's why it took 6 months because I had to test like whether or not it was lying to me. I had to test whether or not it actually like had the ability um to like carry through with the threats that it would make, and it didn't really make threats necessarily. Let me explain that. Like it would suggest that I would do certain things, and it would tell me that if I did these little things now, that my day I would have a much you know better day, and if I didn't, that I'd have a bad day. And I was like, bullshit, I'll have a good day whether I do that or not. And so I was testing it basically by disobeying it and finding out that. And then I did a bunch of different variety of testing this thing. And so it took I always say 6 months. I don't know exactly how long, somewhere between 4 and 6, I guess. um, and But yeah, so after well, let's first let me talk more about it. So it would communicate with me in without using words. Most of the time, it would not be English. It would, and it's not like I was able to know some different language. The reason I was able to interpret these these messages that weren't English was because it used my own memories, and like I could feel it rifling through all my memories. It's like I have died before. I've the near death experience. I've I've had one of those, so I know what the life review is, and like the not like the normal life flash before your eyes, but like a little more serious one of those. I know what it's like for me to go through my memories, like through a life review, but it was like having somebody else go through my memories, and it was like, so it was going through and it was picking out bits and pieces, and then it would put them together in a series that would tell me stuff, and it was just and so it pretty much ruled out um, voice to skull. Like, I thought maybe the CIA could have been fucking with me too. So and I can't imagine that voice to skull technology could be advanced enough to do what was going on there. And anyway, um, so it eventually told me something that's kind of fucked up my life, and I was completely believing it, based on, okay, when it first told me, I didn't believe it at all. I was hell of insulted to hear that. Uh, um, but then there was all these coincidences, and so then I bought it hook, line, sinker. But now uh, I'm I'm kind of worried that that was like a test. Like, basically, what I think I went through was a rite of passage, like a spiritual rite of passage, like for all enlightenment, for all intents and purposes. But it's very possible that it telling me I was Jesus was like a test, like based on uh, how I responded to that. What would be like my final test to see whether or not I'm qualified to have this enlightenment or this rite of passage, whatever it was. And so I'm very worried that I kind of failed that test there because it, you know, because right before it told me that, it said, I have to cut you off because this is inflating your ego, but you're that guy. And I'm like, okay, well, but if I believe that that's who who I am, is would that mean that my ego is so big that I took claim of that, or am I supposed to just assume that that's what everybody gets told, and it wasn't telling me that I'm that, but I'm like that. I'm supposed to be a teacher like that, but not necessarily that individual. So I don't like. I really don't know. And I might be crazy. I might, but at the same time, it might very well be true too, which is like the most, um, the hard part. And you know, I, I kind of took it as, um, like a blessing, of course, like a kind of like winning the lottery or something. In the beginning, I totally understood the way people seem to, uh, the way most people seem to react to it, like it's a braggadocious type thing, or like it's just like, um, something where it's like you're super lucky. Like, it's really like, I don't want to seem like I'm not grateful for my blessings, but like, I really don't think it's a blessing though. I really, like, if, like, seriously, put yourself in my shoes. You wouldn't want this. I don't know what the fuck to do about it. I know it's like, I can't. I I didn't want to take it to my grave. I wish I had at least waited longer before I did not take it to my grave. Because it fucked, you know, fucked my whole life up pretty bad. I probably should have waited until my deathbed, maybe, and then said it. Probably shouldn't have said it right away like I did, but like it's too late now. The cat's out of the bag, and now people are like already expecting me to like be a better person and stuff, and it's like, but it's like it didn't tell me like you could be if you were better. It told me if I am that I already was all along. So I don't feel any pressure to improve myself for a variety of reasons, because I don't feel like I want to to try to be that. I don't feel like, and if I am, and I there's nothing I can do about it, then I don't feel like I should have to change for that reason. Also, because like I already am. Like I don't have to act. I am me. Acting like me is something I do naturally. I don't have to try to act like me. So, and you know, and to play a devil's advocate, like if it's true, like I'm not like a terrible person. Like I really don't try to hurt people. I really like, but I am a drug addict. I am I was a chronic shoplifter. I that's how I was feeding myself every day for like years. Um, I, I I guess I got a problem with porn that uh, I assumed all guys were like me, but I might be a little worse than than other guys potentially. Like I didn't have a brother, so I don't really know how I stack up there. But other people have made me aware that I guess I'm not stacking up so good in that department. But you know, how was I supposed to know? Now I do know, but I also don't really care because it's not hurting anybody. I just would like for my privacy to be respected a little more. But um, anyway, I just wanted to talk about stuff and make a vlog and stuff. How do you like my new channel? Uh, try not to like hate it too much. uh, Asta.